All right, Brad, you with us?
Not going yet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
Get
therapist.
chopped up. And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today, Brad, we're going to talk about the 10 stretches and exercises for people who sit all day. We've done some of these, in various different forms before, but now we're actually trying to do it just specifically for people who sit. These are stretches and exercises just for people who sit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that a good apple, Bob?
Yeah, it was. Well, he's trying to blame the fact that we're running a little late on the fact that I was eating an apple.
It was a big one.
It was technical difficulties, so we always have technical difficulties. By the way, to our channel right now, you might as well make another mistake and subscribe to us, especially if you're watching the rebroadcast.
2 mistakes make a positive, right?
That's right. Two negatives make a positive. If you haven't already, please also go over to the Facebook and like us, because Brad and I, as children, were not liked, and now we're turning things around, and we feel really good about ourselves. Right?
Yep. Speak for yourself, Bob.
All right. The big thing with sitting, the one exercise I really want you to do, Brad, especially if you don't have any particular back problem, is I want you to make sure that you're doing extensions, because when you sit, you tend to go into this rounded out position eventually.
Here, let me
It's kind of
show
slumped. Okay, I'll go this way. This is how Brad is sitting right now. He's slumped, he's slouched, and that position puts a lot of stress on your back, especially if it's done day after day. And this alone will often result in neck pain and back pain. Now, the reason I said there's certain people that we don't want doing this, it's people like Brad. We don't want him doing extensions because he has spondylolisthesis, or if you have spinal stenosis. Anything else?
Those are the big ones, but I was just thinking I'll do extensions, but probably a different variety.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're talking about prone press.
Yeah, I'm talking prone press ups. Yeah. So this is the first exercise that I want you doing. This is really should be the part of your day. If you only have time to do one exercise, I want you doing this one, because this one really is good for your back. I do it myself. I do it twice a day. I do it right before I run in the mornings. I wake up and I start doing some press ups.
Sure.
You're basically keeping your pelvis on the floor or on the bed, and you're putting your hands beneath your shoulders, and you're pressing up like this. Now, what you're not doing is you're not lifting up your pelvis like this. If you're so tight that your pelvis starts to come up, then just work in this little range right here,
Right.
and eventually go into a bigger stretch like this. You want to grab the stretch out strap, Brad, actually the yoga strap.
Oh, you bet. I'll grab it.
So if you are tight and you can't go much further than this, this is a good time to go ahead and get one of these straps, or you can use a towel, or you can use a sheet or a belt that you have. But this always works out real well. This is the yoga strap that we recommend. I just ordered another one of these, Brad.
Oh, good.
I ordered one for me.
Yeah, put your thumb in there. It really bothers me. Here, go like that.
Okay.
There.
So now you see how it can get a little extra pressure on the back. I don't know. Can you see that on the felt?
Go forward, Bob. They'll be able to see it if I flip it over to the red. There.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting extra pressure, and this can actually stretch your back into the right position.
Can you see it on the Facebook, Lonnie?
Yeah, this is a great stretch to be doing. So, all right. And by the way, if you're interested in any of the products that we recommend, we put them down on our Amazon recommendation link, which is in the description in YouTube. I don't know. It's not going to be on Facebook. I'll try to put it on later, because it won't be on there right now.
Sure. Okay. So, be patient.
All right. Next one. I want to go into a strengthening exercise right away, Brad. And this is we're using some bands by Cando, C-A-N-D-O. These were sent to us by FEI, Fabrications Enterprises, Inc.
Yeah.
And if you're a therapist, I always want to make sure you go ahead and get their catalog. I'll put that in a link below too. Eventually, it's not there now. But all you got to do is buy like a 4-foot strip of this exercise band. Again, Cando. And you can keep this, by your desk.
Right.
And then every once in a while, you can start doing some exercises to help improve your posture.
Right, and you've been sitting there, it really feels good to get some circulation, get some movement. I like the endless ones, the circle ones, but either way, yep, they work either way.
So should we do one, Brad?
Sure, go ahead.
Which one do you want to try?
Well, this is what I like to do, both feet like this. and I'm just gonna pull up.
So
like
you put
this.
them both around his feet. You can't see that. Maybe go up like this, Brad.
Well, you know, if you can do it 1 foot, that's fine. If you want a little more resistance.
See, then he's pulling back like this, and this, when he does that, it's actually strengthening the shoulder blades.
Look at this,
here.
Bob. It's kind of fun to watch.
This is when I wish I worked alone. All right.
Seriously, it works good. I'm working on my shoulders, my scapulars, pulling back and expanding that chest. It really makes you feel good. You can breathe better. Just wakes you up.
Yeah, it does. And to be honest with you, it's really difficult to maintain good posture unless you're working on strengthening those muscles. If
Yeah.
you just stretch them, they won't stay back there as well as they will if you would actually strengthen them.
Tighten
too.
them up.
Yeah. So another way is just to take the single band here, you know, and I'm putting my foot down on the floor, and now I'm just going back like this.
Yeah.
And you see, I'm kind of keeping my arms at a right angle, the elbows, and I'm pulling back like this. And this really works the back muscles here, the rhomboids, the muscles between the shoulder blades.
I just wanted to show that really exaggerated motion between.
Yeah, again, so see how his shoulder blades are coming together? So just really a good exercise. Then you can also just take it like this and put it together, put your hands close like this, and then spread it back like this.
There you go.
Again, just real nice. You know, you can be a little subtle with this. I mean, people are probably going to look at you a little bit, but you know.
Well, then they should get a band, and everyone.
Yeah, and everybody should do it together. Is right.
Yeah.
That's how therapists think. You know, it's funny when you go to a therapist conference. It's just a different world because with therapy, when you around therapists, they don't even hesitate to like get down on the floor and start doing press ups during the middle of a lecture, and nobody even thinks twice about it. All right, put your band up like this, and then you can go squeeze down like this.
Now, for the people who don't know, the different color bands are just not for choice of being pretty. It's the lighter the band, the less resistance it is.
Right.
So that band is a little more resistance than my yellow one. But the nice thing about bands is, you know, you can always double it up or change.
Oh yeah, you can make it tougher. So if I double up like this, I go like, now I got a workout going here.
Yeah.
Now these can-do bands are supposed to be stronger than the other exercise bands too, less likely to tear. They
Sure.
do snap, I think, eventually, but these I think are stronger than most.
No matter which one you buy, you have to be avoid going across these sharp edges.
Right.
On a desk or a door to put it over a door.
By the way, Brad, I'd also be remiss if I didn't say, you know, what we do is we normally go through all the exercises, and then at the end, we'll take questions. So let's move on, Brad. How about the next one is you're going to want to do, now that we've strengthened things up, you're going to want to do some type of chest stretch. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. You can just go ahead and bring your arms back like this, or like this, and just bring your elbows back. Yeah, Brad's showing the side view. Good. So we're going back like this and just stretching it way back like this. Another one is just to go way back like this. You can go into a doorway. You put your hands on you know, arms on each side of the doorway and lean in. You can also, this is the one Brad can't do very well, but you can grab your hands behind you like this.
I can't reach my hands
And
together.
pull back. So why don't you take the strap, Brad?
Well, I'm just going to use this band.
Okay.
But yeah, we could. Oh, there we go.
Another use for your band.
Yeah.
You can actually put it behind like this, and then you can stretch up a lot easier. All right, next one, Brad. When you sit all day, as you sit, these muscles right here become shortened.
Sure.
Especially if you're a chronic sitter. And what happens after a while, then when I stand up, they stay shortened and they can pull you over. And that's where you start seeing these people that are walking like this.
Right. They're typically maybe in the retirement age, or
Right.
And sometimes not though. They're younger.
Lonnie, you want to pull that camera up just a hair too? Just
Don't worry, just cutting his head off.
yeah. Well, that's the worst part of me. So you need to take it all in.
Oh
All right. So this is a stretch you can easily do. You can go onto your chair or onto a bed, and you can just go ahead and I'm stretching this muscle right here, back here. You see that?
So yeah. Here, let's try it this way, Bob. Come back here, so they can see it. Now, put your left leg up
We're
there.
doing things on the fly. You mean the right leg?
Yeah, well, okay, that one too.
Okay. And
Move
now,
that hand.
yep.
So we're getting that hip flexor. This is deep inside. It's actually, if you went straight in, it's like back in there. But it's a really nice way to stretch it.
Boy, it's stretching good, actually. This
Oh,
is not a
yeah.
bad way to do it.
Now, if you haven't done this before, this is not gonna be very possible until you get stretched out a little bit.
I was just trying to do it this way, Brad, so you could do it at work, and then you could put your leg up onto a
Sure.
chair like this.
Yep.
But the other way would be if you actually kneel down and you stretch forward like this.
But yeah, don't do it on your desk.
Yeah,
Go down on,
then you will have
Floor.
people talking about you if you're doing that type of thing.
that should be fall off.
All right, next one, Brad. We've said this one a million times. I feel like I'm your parent talking to you, but yes, you need to do chin tucks because when you're sitting all day, after a while, your head's going to start drifting forward.
Yeah,
So we want you to do chin tucks. You should be doing these. You can do these every hour if you want.
yeah,
Just go ahead.
right.
You're back in
You
your
put
chin up.
that right against your chin, and then people can see it. There you go. Come forward. See now, you are really chin tucking well when that stick is. You know, you get
How long
bored.
is my nose anyway? It's probably up to the pink here.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of nose.
Therapists have weird sense of humor at that time.
Now,
Anyways,
the point we want to make with this, Brad, is not to put your chin down like
Right.
this and not to go up like this. You're just backing up like someone's throwing a pie in your face or,
right. So with this, we're not only stretching some muscles that can get tight from that poor head forward posture, but it's also helping realign, so to speak, the spine, that cervical, the neck spine.
reposition.
Right.
So we're getting the ears up over the shoulders where they're supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all right, next one, Brad. The hallelujah stretch. And there's two ways we can do this, right?
Two, yes.
Why don't you go jump in there, Brad? You're a little shorter than I am. I don't want to get cut off. I'm
Doesn't
grabbing the
bother
ball.
me.
I'm grabbing the ball. Why don't you start with the?
Yeah. All right. Let me get my glasses out of the way, Bob. And we'll stretch back. Now on this, if you have a really tall backrest, it doesn't work so well.
Yeah.
This one's about, if it was a little shorter, I'd even get a better stretch. If this came down about right around your shoulder blades on the lower half of your shoulder blades.
So the way to modify that is to actually take a ball, if you have a chair that's really high, and just
Yeah.
keep a small ball around that you can get from any of the big box stores.
Right. And it's nice if it's a little soft or squishy. This one's actually a little flat, and that works pretty good actually. So let me get the.
This is great for mid-back, but this is just a really good stretch to do while sitting. I would highly recommend this one. It's a great one you can just do every so often.
Yeah. And the nice thing about the ball, you can kind of roll it a little bit and get to that spot or that kink that really needs to get it out of there. Oh, now I'm actually getting some pretty good force on it. It feels good. Stretch so good. Bob, keep talking.
All right, we're getting bored. So now let's move on to the next one. We're going to go actually do, and just because when you sit a lot, your circulation is going to be poor in your ankles and feet. So one thing we also recommend, of course, is to go for walks every so often, even if it's a few minutes. But the other thing is to do ankle pumps. So you're going to go ahead and you can do these on the floor. I'm just showing these up here so that you can see them. But while you're sitting there at your chair, just pump the ankles,
Sure.
both sides. You really want to do this on an airplane because the way things work on an airplane, you're at a much higher risk of developing blood clots.
Sure.
So you want to make sure that you're doing ankle pumps on the airplane.
And if you happen to have your strap with you, your exercise band, you can add a little resistance on there, and that
a little
helps.
higher, Brad.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
see
there
it.
you go. Poop. Yeah, I wouldn't lift it. At work you wouldn't lift it up this high unless you really wanted to, but just under the desk and work that a little bit.
Next one, Brad. I'm going to actually lower the camera just a hair here.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. You want to do a hamstring stretch.
Yeah.
The hamstrings are also, because you sit all day and your knee is bent like this, they're getting tight on you. So, and when the hamstrings get tight on you, they're going to pull on the back, and it's going to be a lot harder to lift correctly and do things like you're supposed to do. So you want to go ahead and put your foot up on another chair, keep your back real straight, and kind of lean forward.
Sure.
I guess there's another way you can just do it this way, Brad, can't you? Without anything? I mean, you'll get some stretch that way. So,
Some people, if they have tight hamstrings, they have a hard time straightening their knee out fully straight because of that tight. But you'll know.
right.
You kick out, and you feel that stretch.
And then a couple, just because, generally when you're at a desk, a lot of times you're doing typing. I'd like to see you doing the wrist extension and wrist flexion stretches. So you can go ahead and you want to show the side view of this, Brad? You go ahead and you take the one hand, you're going to grab right underneath the fingers like this, you're going to pull back. Give a good little stretch there. And then the other one is you're going to actually put your wrists down and turn out like this. Put your wrist down and turn out. All right,
Nice work.
So you can see it doesn't take that long, especially if there's nobody talking and describing these. I mean, you can whip through these fairly quickly.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, we do have a video that starts and it's about
2 minutes.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
Some of the ones, you know, like the ones you have to do on the bed or on the floor at home, you may want to reserve that for when you're sitting at, you know, when you get finally home. Brad, do you want to start looking to see if there's any questions? And Lonnie, if you want to see if there's any questions, we can start taking questions. I don't know how long we've been on the air already, but again, we apologize. I'm going to use this right now to apologize for the people that we don't get back to you on your comments. We just are deluged with comments. We get a couple hundred comments a day, and we work yet, so we can't.
Yeah, I've been getting to some the last few days, Bob, but not all of them. This is too
So she
many.
said she's doing a chin tuck, and then she gets pain from the right shoulder down to the blade.
Okay, so lady's doing a chin tuck, and she's getting pain going down to her shoulder blade when she does it. So she's got to start possibly of a disc problem. So what I would recommend is to try is actually, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see me on this, is I would take a roll towel.
It's up there.
Well, here we go. This will work. You can just roll up a towel, and you can start by doing chin tucks on your back like this, and just gently do a chin tuck in this position and see if it's less painful. And then hopefully eventually you'll be able to work up to doing chin tucks sitting up again. The other thing you could try is take the towel and put it around your neck like this and give it a little support and then do a chin tuck. Brad, do you have any other suggestions on that?
Oh, no, I was reading over here, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So it is meaning that you're starting to get a neck problem if it's referring down there, and you're probably going to want to maybe try some of the McKenzie exercises, and we have a video on that. McKenzie is McKenzie, and for neck problems. And if you put that in there, McKenzie neck, and put Bob and Brad or put physical therapy video, that should come up. So, Lonnie, anything else on Facebook?
You know what is ankylosis?
Ankylosing spondylitis?
Yeah, she have that, and she have pain in the back. So what?
Yeah, we just did a whole video on ankylosing spondylitis. The whole thing with ankylosing spondylitis, it's a condition where your back almost becomes inflamed, and then it starts to almost become like bamboo. I mean, it gets that shiny appearance, and it gets locked in. You're going to really want to work on doing like this back extension.
Yeah.
The other one we recommend is that you just lay here like this. I mean, when you have ankylosing spondylitis, you should spend every evening laying like this for 10-20 minutes.
Chances are they're not going to be near this flexible.
They may not be, but they may not be this bad yet.
Right.
I mean, you want to avoid
You
this.
may want to put a pillow underneath to make it a little more comfortable.
Yeah, or a pillow underneath here if you
Sure.
can't go all the way yet.
Right, under there.
So, I mean, the also one they do is they do that one with the they recommend. You want to show that one, Brad? Lay down.
Lengthwise.
Yeah.
Oh. And this is the one where you're going to let gravity do the work. And, you know, that goes right along your spine, so you're kind of mobilizing slightly the spine and the vertebra and stretching the muscles, and it really does do a nice job of self-aligning, using gravity to do the work so you can relax. You may have to put something under your head, though, right here. On this, use this. You could just use a towel roll. I happen to have a half moon device that fits on it really nicely, and then that can make it more comfortable while you do that stretching. And I know there was a comment someone had asked on hamstring stretches. This person, she said, I'm unable to touch my toes, and that almost is certainly due to tight hamstrings.
Right.
So the stretch that Bob talked about, sitting, go a couple of things. Make sure that the knee is straight as you can get it, and your back is straight, and you really emphasize and get all the stretch to the hamstrings.
Yeah.
If you round your back over and bend your knee, you're really not getting near the benefit as doing it properly with the knee straight, back straight, and just relax and stretch. I like to do this in the standing position. I'm more relaxed for whatever reason. It feels better on my back as well.
I wouldn't be too concerned that you can't touch your toes.
Yeah,
I
not
mean,
necessarily.
I don't want mobility in my back this way anyway, that much this way. I want my mobility in the hamstrings. So to get down to the floor, you gotta have, your back's gotta be, really stretched out, and your legs. And so
Yeah.
it's not a mark that I would shoot for.
Sure.
By the way, a lady under Brad mentioned that she's having headaches or migraines and neck pain.
Okay.
I don't know that we have anything for migraines. That's more of a medication issue. But if it's not a true migraine, if it's a neck headache,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them come from the upper C1, C2 area, that's the upper cervical spine.
Yep.
Those chin tucks are really a good way to handle things. The other thing you can try is to actually do some self-massage on your neck. So you want to massage in this area right underneath the crook of the start of the neck here.
If you get up in here, you'll feel all bone, and you just go down there until you start feeling some muscle.
So I'm pulling apart like this. I'm making circles. I'm working that whole area.
Mm.
And in the car is even a good time to be doing the chin tucks.
Sure.
And again, if that's causing your headaches, that will help eventually. If it's migraines, you're going to have to do it. That's a medication issue almost always.
Yeah, we have not found any physical
that.
therapy treatment for that.
Lonnie, anything on Facebook?
So her question is, are pelvic tilts useful in seated position?
Pelvic tilts. What I like about the pelvic tilt is just to help you put your back in the right position. So if you do a pelvic tilt, you have a good understanding of where your back is at. So like if I'm in this position right here, I'm trying to make sure I stay on camera here. So I can tilt my pelvis this way, so I got more of a rounding or arch in my back, or I can tilt it this way where I've got a round in the wrong position. So by being able to do a pelvic tilt, yeah, you get some movement and you get that arch in your back, and now your back is in the right position. And yeah, it's not the worst thing to do some pelvic tilts. You get some movement in your back, getting some blood flow to the area. So yeah, it's not a bad thing to add.
Yeah.
So Brad, anything?
No, there's some nice comments thanking us for what we do. And there's one person that had a surgery asking for some recommendations. I usually don't like to make comments over there. You really need to have some direct information from
your surgeon, yeah.
From the surgeon, because we don't, it's just not safe otherwise.
Right. Lonnie, anything else on
Jammed
Facebook?
ankle, any help?
Any what?
Jammed ankle?
Oh, jammed ankle? Well, if it's a jammed ankle or is it a sprained ankle, we've got whole videos on that. With all these things, when anytime you jam something or sprain it, you do want to make sure you're still keeping some movement in it.
Right.
So, I mean, you're going to start off with like this. It's hard to give advice not knowing if it's jammed or sprained.
And to what degree it is.
Yeah.
She said jam. So.
Jammed?
Well, that's not a technical.
It's a layperson's term.
Right. It's not very specific. It's not like a grade 3 ankle sprain
Yeah.
versus grade 4.
Sorry, we don't expect that you're going to say that, but we need to know if it's a sprain versus, if you jammed it, does that mean she just jumped on it or something like that? So
I don't know. I wish we could do better on that.
Yeah.
There was someone who was asking about if we had a list of exercises that they could do at the desk, and we do. And I wish I could remember what the name of that one. The video starts out with the exercise. It gets right to it right away. We don't do any of the stuff we do, and that's why we made it that way.
Yeah, I think it's under like workout at work or exercises at work or at your desk.
Yeah. So Google Bob and Brad exercises at a desk. And it should pull up.
Should be starting to get close. So, all right, you guys have wasted another hour with us.
Only 20
used to
minutes,
say,
Bob.
20 minutes.
Only 20 minutes.
But remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything
Except for that.
broken heart.
There you go.
But
we're still working.
We're working on it. We're working really hard for you every day.